And this competition replay was sent in by the user Swansea UK. That is Swansea UK. And he's driving the T30 on a standard battle on Stalingrad. T30 being a Tier 9 tank destroyer for the Americans. Pretty much exactly the same as the T34 chassis and turret-wise, although it does have that very, very nice 155mm cannon that's got the nice penetration and the very nice alpha damage in there. Although I think it has probably a little bit slower turret traverse than the T34, although don't quote me on that as I don't know stats off the top of my head. So Swansea going to be heading to the left-hand side of the map, going to cover that 1-2 line with the rest of his team. Looks like he's pushing all the way to the far left-hand side. Going to cover down across the railway lines. He's got some heavy tanks ahead of him, which is exactly the position you want to play in a tank destroyer, behind the front line. Of course, on a city map like this, can't camp all the way at the back in a bush because there aren't really very many bushes. So you have to kind of just play that support role. You let your heavier tanks with the armor go first. Let them absorb the damage while you do the killing. As you can see, setting up behind an E75, which is kind of perfect. As the E75 will hopefully bounce the hits while Swansea UK puts the shots into the enemy. Already bounced a shot from that AMX-50B. Swansea just letting his gun close all the way in, trying to find a hit on the 50B. Unfortunately, that one just went a little bit wide and didn't quite hit the AMX-50B. And a very long reload on this cannon. Looks like, I'm not really sure if that's accurate, 17.7 seconds. Gonna set up again to try and land the second hit, or land the first hit, but the second shot on this 50B. His binoculars kick in, and the AMX-50B still hidden, so it looks like he may have moved now. Realizing he's squaring off against two large guns, the AMX-50B doesn't want to be in that position. You need to use its speed and agility to flank the enemy and put shots into the side. So Swansea going to transition closer to the center of the map. Going to come around, maybe try and land some damage on this 110. For the T110E5 on his left. Obviously tank destroyer replays tend to be a little bit slower getting started. Does find an enemy E75 here, not quite able to get a straight line on him. The two 110s squaring off against each other there. Swansea's playing this one very, very carefully. And obviously the more health that you can take with you into the late game, the better chances you're going to have of being able to win the battle for your team. Enemy 110 coming very far forward. Looks like he was trying to lure the allied 110 into firing. Trying to get a shot on this E75. Looks like he's just out of position to be able to hit. Going to play this one cautiously. Decides to have a look at this 110. And what a beautiful shot. First shot of the game. He gets a 1,246 damage ammo rack on the enemy 110. So beautiful, beautiful first shot there by Swansea UK. And that's just opened this flank up a little bit. There's nobody pushed forward for the enemy team. So now going to set up, maybe see if he can get a shot on this E75. Looks like he's just going to press forwards now with that 110 being taken out. Enemy E75 has fallen now. Got to play it quickly and carefully though, as the enemy team is pushing very strong on that right hand side and in the center. Going to be moving forwards, try and offer some support to his E5 against the enemy E5. Looks like somebody has ran through the base there. Looks like he's not quite able to sneak a shot past the allied 1-5 there. He's going to have to come all the way alongside the enemy tank. And I don't think the allied E5 realizes that he's got quite so much support. Swansea gets alongside him, gets a great shot to do 700 damage to him. And the allies come in and they're going to make short work of this E5. He falls. Although the allies are having a good time on this flank, they are overall losing this battle at the moment. 6 kills to 8. The enemy team's easily won the right-hand side and holds more of the centre than the allied team does. Swansea UK is making a move up the centre here. Going to try and offer some support to the Waffenträger Panzer IV maybe. who's got to be careful as that AMX 50B is making a move. He's been tracked. Can Swansea land a shot on him? Now he can indeed. Takes out his track and gets a huge bit of damage onto him. But the 50B is able to take out the Waffenträger, but gets taken out in return by that T57. You can see the enemy T57 right in the centre there. Looks like he's trying to get some shots on people, so Swansea decides to drop back just to protect their flank and their rear. All of the allied tanks kind of squaring off, trying to hold a ragged line against the enemy team. So if Swansea can drop back and cover their sides and rear so that nobody can get around behind them, they may be able to hold this line. It's a lovely shot on the T57 to take him out by setting him on fire there. And that's just exactly the kind of luck you need when you're losing a game 11 kills to 9. Although they were losing a lot more than that just a moment ago. Finds an Object 140. Gets a great shot onto him. The Object 140 crashes into the wall. I think the Object 140 thinks that there's more room in this alleyway than there actually is, and he's going to be able to carousel around the T30. As it is, he's got nowhere to go, and the T30 is just going to turret hug him to death. Got to land one more shot on his commander's hatch to get another 700 and some damage, and the T40 has realised that this is not going to go his way. Swansea UK doing a fantastic job of just blocking off the street, so that this Object 140's got nowhere to go. He can't hurt the turret. He gets taken out now by the T110E5 coming in from the rear. And that was an excellent, excellent piece of play to, number one, defend their rear against that T57 and then block that Object 140 from advancing around him. And they're both just going to barge him out of the way and then try and fight a determined defense. Still losing 11 kills to 12. Their AMX 50B evens it up now at 12 to 12. But they are up against an Object 268, a Waffenträger E100, and a Leopard PTA. And all of those tanks have the capability of just ruining someone's day, except maybe the Leopard PTA. Well, I guess it kind of depends how many hit points he's got. He's still on full health, so he definitely has the opportunity to wreck someone's day. T110E5 lands a great shot on the Waffenträger and then falls back. And that means that Swansea UK is able to put the killing shot through his gun shield for kill number 3. That leaves the AMX 50B squaring off against the Object 268 and this full health Leopard PT8. Looks like Swansea hasn't quite got the height to see over the rubble piles here. He does still have full health though in the T30, so he can just waste some of that in order to get some damage on the enemy tanks. T110E5 trying to get a clear shot on the Leopard PTA, as Swansea is also trying to do. Looks like not quite able to get anything on this Leopard PTA. Swansea's going to flank all the way around him and think he decides better of it, as that Leopard PTA is making a beeline for the Object 268 and that AMX 50B. The AMX 50B on very low health there, only 133 hit points, but that Object 268 looks slightly reluctant to head around the corner. With the quick reload, well, not that quick, but with the auto-loading capability of the 50B, the Object 268 comes around the corner. He'll take one for free. And then if he doesn't return fire quick enough, that 50B will be able to eliminate him. Everybody dropping back. Looks like that Leopard PTA may have to go out there and just sacrifice some of his health in order to take out the 50B. 50B's doing a great job of falling back and getting damage on these tanks. He still hasn't fallen after landing 2 good hits on the Leopard PTA. He's still dropping back. The E5 has arrived now. AMX 50B finally falls thanks to the Object 268. T110 E5 holding that street there while Swansea tries to flank around the side. Hopefully they have no idea where he is and he'll be able to come at them without them realising. Finds the Object 268. He's also trying to flank, but that shot goes straight through his armour for kill number 4. That just leaves the Leopard PTA. Leopard PTA spins around possibly. Not really sure what he's doing. Well, he gets taken out by the E5. That's GG and the victory. So awesome replay there from Swansea UK, picking himself up almost 6,000 points of damage, 4 kills, making some really, really good tactical decisions to help his team come away with the victory. So awesome replay from me.